Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. This is Amir Ismail with you live from Toronto. I'm sorry we won't be going with the live video. It will be an audio transmission because I've been traveling. So please bear with us today. But the format of today's broadcast would remain the same. That is, we will be displaying your questions, immigration and other streams related questions, and we will be answering them one by one to the best of our abilities. Those of you who are joining us today, my name is Amir Ismail. I'm a Toronto based licensed citizenship and immigration advisor who has been assisting clients in their immigration matters since 1991. And we have had the privilege of assisting more than 25,000 people in making Canada their home. And hopefully, we'll be able to assist you in that as well. Our philosophy is very simple. We don't only assist in immigration matters as authorized representatives, but also welcome you here in Canada as we are here in Canada. We have spent time here. We have raised families here. So the philosophy is basically a settlement-based philosophy. So we are very proud of it, and we hope to be of assistance to you. We'll start the question and answer sessions, but just a few updates. The Canadian elections had been announced, and now we are going to have election day on 20th of September. That is on Monday next week. I had already casted my vote in advance poll, as you might know. We had posted some videos and photos. We are very excited to participate in Canadian elections. It is the chance to make our voice heard and choose our next leader. At the moment, as you might know, that the current Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, is defending his position. And then we have two more major parties, Conservative, headed by Erin O'Toole, and New Democratic Party, headed by Jasmeet Singh. So we'll see who wins on Monday, but whomsoever wins, of course, it will have impact on immigration policies and programs. And all of these parties, they have put forward good, viable immigration agendas. But we'll see. They have the promises. We'll see if those promises will be put in practice or not. So we'll keep you updated on changes. There are some changes expected in the national occupation classification as well. So you might have to then adjust your principal occupation, especially those who fall under NOCB. So we'll see maybe some of these occupations will be downgraded to NOCC. So you have to be very careful there. So yeah, let's acknowledge people who are with us today. We have Huma Salim joining us today once again. Huma, are you joining us from Karachi, if I'm not mistaken? All right. So we have Naveed joining us. Yeah, so that motivational video, we would say to everyone, don't ever give up. And yeah, any target you might have in your life, including immigration to Canada, yeah, there might be some delays, and especially the year that went by, and even this year, we have had the border restrictions, but these have now been lifted from 7th of September. Canada is welcoming international travelers. So yeah, we've been very busy in dealing with a lot of inquiries past 1 week because a lot of people are now applying for visitor visas. So yeah, thank you for your encouragement. We have Sajjad Ahmad joining us from LinkedIn. Thank you. Irene, thank you for joining us. I don't know where are you joining us from, but if you could kindly indicate that. Khadija is saying her brother needs a job. If you're talking about a job in Canada, I would suggest that he starts looking for it online. And there are different resources available. LinkedIn is one of those, and then you can also get in touch with licensed recruiters here in Canada. They might be able to help you, but in reality, practically speaking, it is rather difficult to secure a job without having a proper status here, because employers here are obliged to look for suitable candidates first in Canada, and if they don't find them, then they can employ people from overseas. And to do that, they have to prove that they couldn't find a single person of the caliber of the applicant they are looking for, and they should be allowed. So, mostly employers are not that enthusiastic in going into that hassle or going an extra mile. But yes, maybe he would be interested in applying for immigration, which is a more easier way to access Canadian labor market. Come here as an immigrant and apply for jobs, and when you are here, you can make yourself available for interviews, and you don't have to get a separate authorization. So all he needs to do is to determine his eligibility. If he wants us to do that, we provide a free assessment service. He can complete our assessment form on our website, www.amirismail.com, and we'll be happy to assist. Okay, so let's move on to next question. Is Mahmoud Ahmed is joining us from LinkedIn. Hope you're doing okay, Mahmoud. Huma is actually from Islamabad. I thought you were from Karachi, but you're Islamabad. That's good to know. Love that city. Of course, capital of Pakistan. Mohammed Mansoor Iqbal has joined us. Thank you for joining us. Mahmoud Ahmed is working as a sales coordinator. Good to know. If you're interested in finding out about your eligibility, please feel free to complete our assessment form. Taris has joined us. Thank you. Okay. Question from Altaf Hussain. He's saying that he's a software engineer. He has 3 years of experience. He's got a job in Canadian company, and they will help him in relocation to Canada. He just wants to know that is bachelor's degree sufficient? Okay, so if you have a bachelor's degree, you would be assigned points accordingly. When you have a job offer, then you get additional points for that. Usually, people who have a 2 years bachelor's degree, they struggle to secure a competitive ranking score. But since you have a job offer that is, I'm sure, going to be opinionated by the labor department here in Canada positively, and if that is the case, then it will give a boost to your profile, and hopefully that is going to be helpful in migrating to Canada. Mahmoud is saying, can I apply for visitor visa? Well, there is no selection criteria as such for visitor visa. You can definitely apply for visitor visa, and naturally it will be assessed whether you are a genuine visitor or not. And if you're found to be a genuine visitor, you have a purpose of visiting Canada, and you have sufficient ties back home, you should be considered to be allowed to come to Canada for a trip, and then you go back and resume your activities overseas. You're supposed to leave Canada at the end of the period authorized for your stay, right? So yeah, if you need any assistance in visitor visa application, we are authorized to represent applications for visitor visa, temporary residence visa in general. Mahmoud is from Saudi Arabia. Thank you for letting us know. Aris has joined us from Karachi. Junaid has joined us from Islamabad. Rahman Shah from YouTube. He's from UAE. Thank you, Rahman, for joining us again from UAE. And thank you for your trust, continued trust in our services. Okay. There is a question coming from Rehan, and he's saying that he's a banker by profession, and his wife is a teacher with relevant degree as well. Are we eligible for immigration? So Rehan, we always encourage our prospective clients to complete our assessment form. The assessment form can be found on our website, www.amirismail.com. And when you complete the form, we evaluate your information, your age, educational qualification, work experience, language skills, those qualities of your spouse, and other factors such as the presence of a relative in Canada. So all these things, job description, we choose your national occupation classification for the principal or main occupation. And when we do that, we revert back with our opinion whether you qualify or not. So I would recommend that you get in touch with our team by completing the assessment form. We give you an assessment in 2 business days. And if you are found to be eligible, we also ask you to proceed with a formal one-on-one consultation. If you do not appear to qualify, we then advise you not to consider, because there is no point in wasting time and money, right? So we'll be happy to do that. Okay. Another question from Junaid, joining us from Facebook. He says, uh, can I claim points for close relatives as uncle? My mom's first cousin is in Saskatchewan as permanent resident. So yeah, for the purpose of claiming points, you should have a first blood relative, which should be your uncle, uh, brother of your mother or father, would make him or any of your other relatives first blood relatives. So yeah, you have to look at it. If Saskatchewan would allow someone who's a distant relative, there is something else. So you can have a look at the selection criteria. Okay. Mohammed Mansoor Iqbal is joining us from Qatar. It's a wonderful place, Doha, right? I'm assuming you are in Doha, and we are hoping to be in Doha sometimes next month. So, hoping to be seeing you, Mansoor. And if you could assist us in spreading the word about our company in Doha, I'll really appreciate that. Okay. And all of you who have joined us today, very kindly, if you could like and share it with your friends and relatives and acquaintances who might be interested in securing or seeking advice from a licensed consultant from Canada, please do so, and we'll be very, very um, thankful for that. And if they are fed up dealing with local agents in their local market, or some of them who are still dealing with local agents in their local market just out of convenience, uh, these broadcasts would help spreading the word that they should be dealing with properly authorized Canadian consultants. Okay, let's move on to next question. Samreen has joined us from Karachi. Thank you, Samreen. Thank you, and I hope you're sharing this with your friends. Amir Zafar has joined us. I think you're joining us for the first time, right? Misconception, thank you. You're always there. Thank you for your continued support. Mahmoud, yeah, you're welcome, Mahmoud. Wonderful. Okay. Sharia is saying, if he comes to Canada on work visa, then is it easy for him to get PR from Canada? So for those who are here in Canada and they are on a work permit, and when they complete 1 year on that work permit, depending on the level of work they are doing, they might qualify under Canada Experience Class. That is a class created specifically for work permit holders and international students. So we have seen a big rise in international students from countries like India, Pakistan, Vietnam, China, Nigeria. All these countries, one motivation, of course, is Canadian education. It is of high standard and acceptable worldwide, prestigious degrees. But the other motivational factor, I believe, is the possibility of applying for immigration after securing your degree and getting a 1 year work experience on a postgraduate work permit. So it is a good thing. And in fact, mature students are coming to Canada along with their spouses, because the spouse can apply for open work permit. Children can study here free of cost up to high school level. So it's a very good incentive for even mature students. So yeah, work permit holders can apply for immigration if they qualify under Canada Experience Class. Okay, Adnan Latif is saying he is in Ottawa right now, recently got AZ license. Status is visit visa in search of job, LMIA, and work permit. Contact me. Okay, we don't assist in arranging jobs. If you do happen to find an employer interested in your profile, get in touch with us and we can deal with the labor department on your behalf, or immigration refugee Canada department on your behalf, but we won't be able to arrange jobs. And be wary of those agents who charge money against jobs. Okay. Amir Zafar has got 7 bands and wife has got 6 bands. That's good to know, and we'll be happy to assist uh, in your immigration. Irene is saying that she has joined us from Saudi, but she is a Ugandan. And question is that can she uh, apply without any fee and be accepted? Okay, so Government of Canada charges fee to process applications, and if you're applying and if you're creating your Express Entry profile, it is free of cost. Most provincial programs are also free of cost. Some of them do charge money, but that is at the time when you get a consideration, right? When you are invited to apply. So you don't have to spend any money to start the process, but you do need money later on in terms of processing fee. And also there is a settlement fee requirement, a settlement money that you need to bring in, which is usually like $13,000 per principal applicant and $3,000 to $4,000 per dependent. So you need to have that money too. So yeah, I hope that has answered the question. Farouk is saying, he's joined us from LinkedIn. He's saying that he has a DAE, mechanical engineering, and has total 13 years of education, almost 30 years of experience, and 50 years of age. Okay, and he's married with 3 kids. What are his chances? Yeah, so the chances seem to be low because you're losing significant points in age factor. In fact, you start losing points from age 30 in the comprehensive ranking system. And most of the provinces would require you to create an Express Entry profile. And in order to create an Express Entry profile, you need to score at least 67 points. And most of the people who are 47 or more years of age, they lose significant points in age factor. In fact, you start losing points in the skilled worker grid when you're entering the pool from age 35. So when you turn 36, you have lost 1 point, right? And by the time you're 47, you have lost all your points. So it will be difficult, but we'll try to see if there could be any stream where you might qualify, such as Saskatchewan occupation and demand category that you might want to explore. Do explore that, and you might find that you could be qualifying, and then you can perhaps proceed with it. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Mahmoud Ahmed is saying, any future visit Saudi Arabia? Okay, so frankly speaking, we have never been to Saudi Arabia ever. I've been in the immigration industry for the last 30 years, and I have assisted numerous, hundreds of clients from Saudi Arabia by dealing with them directly from Toronto. But we have never been there. We have been to Doha, we have been to Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Oman, Bahrain, Pakistan, other countries, but never been to Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is actually a very big source of immigrants, especially the expatriates here in that country. So I'm looking forward to be in Saudi, and hopefully people like you might be able to assist us in our plans. Do get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to assist you and any of your friends and relatives or acquaintances based in Saudi in their plans to immigrate to Canada. Okay. Okay, so let's move on to more questions. We have a lot of questions coming in today. Let's see if we can deal with a few of them. Tamina Amir is saying she has 68 points in Saskatchewan with NOC 4011, university lecturer. What are her chances in future draw? The chances seems to be good. One thing that people need to understand that when they look at the points for the pass rank, previous pass rank, for example, the previous pass rank is say 60, and you have 68. You might want to ask the question, why am I not being selected? I have 68. Other people are being selected. Naturally, having points is not enough. You need to get a positive consideration as well. And there are thousands of people, right, to choose from, hundreds of choices to be able to select people from the pool. So Saskatchewan, if they have selected people at a lower threshold in the previous draw, that doesn't mean it guarantees people who have more score, like people like yourself who have 68 points. It's not a guarantee that you're going to be selected. So you can keep your fingers crossed. You should be, it should remain available in the pool and hope for the best. That's the best you can do, right? Okay, so let's move on to more questions. Okay, Mahmood, thank you very much. Somebody is saying, is there any program for pharmacists? So programs are not occupation specific, right? There are factors on which your profile or eligibility depends. These are age, educational qualification, language skills, work experience, and if you have an accompanying spouse or partner, those qualities also check for them as well. So pharmacists, they have a professional degree, so they get more points as compared to someone who has a 4 years bachelor's degree in the education factor. And if they are below the age of 35, if they are fluent in English, they have 3 years experience or more, and their IELTS score is in good bracket like 7, 8, then their chances are very, very good. And yeah, I would recommend that you should create your express entry profile and be available for selection. Okay, let's see. Some people are joining us right now. Salma is saying she wants to bring her sister. So I'm assuming you're a Canadian citizen or a permanent resident. You want to sponsor your sister. Unfortunately, siblings cannot be sponsored, but depending on your location, you might be helpful in one of the provincial nominee programs, or naturally, she would get 15 extra ranking points anyways when she applies and creates her express entry profile. We can make an assessment of her eligibility, and we can see whether she qualifies in any of the programs, and your presence in Canada would definitely be very helpful for her. Okay. Mahmoud Ahmad has joined us from Bahrain, and this is good. I've been to Bahrain before, but I would really like to visit again. We are looking forward to. Yeah, thank you very much. And Amir is based in KSA. Let's see if we can get more questions, a few more questions. Amir is saying that he is 37 years of age and he has 19 years of experience of logistics industry and he wants to know what program is good for him to get PR by using express entry. So Amir, you might have done your research. You might have seen that the first step, the very first step, is to create your express entry profile. And to create your express entry profile, you need to have at least 67 points on the grid. I'm assuming you would be able to get 67 points on the grid, but of course, we will make sure when you complete our assessment form to see whether you are eligible to enter the express entry pool. When you enter the express entry pool, you are subjected to another ranking system called comprehensive ranking system, the CRS. And I'm assuming that your CRS would be in 300s because you're losing points in the age factor. You do have commendable work experience, 19 years of work experience. And I'm assuming that since you're working KSA, you might be dealing with foreigners and you are working with a good company. I'm assuming that you're fluent in English as well, so your IELTS score would be great. So what we'll do is we'll create your profile with various provinces. We will discard those provinces where it is too difficult to qualify, such as, for example, Manitoba. And if you don't have a close connection in that province or don't have a job offer from that province, it might be a waste of time considering that province. But we'll make sure that all the provinces are accounted for. We leave no stone unturned in selecting appropriate program for you. So please complete our assessment form and we'll advise you, okay? Okay, Adnan is saying, is it possible if he could sponsor wife and kids from Pakistan right now in Canada on visitor visa? So sponsorship is only allowed to Canadian permanent residents and citizens. Once you become a Canadian permanent resident, naturally you can't become a Canadian citizen right away. You have to become a permanent resident after qualifying in one of the permanent residence streams. Once you become a permanent resident, you can sponsor your wife and kid. But at the moment, if you want them to join you, they can apply for a visitor visa, right? Okay. Abdul Hasib Gori has joined us from YouTube, and he's asking, I want to know what is the minimum IELTS band required for express entry program for principal applicants. Secondly, is it compulsory for both husband and wife to give exam? So the minimum IELTS band requirement to enter the express entry pool is 6 bands in each component: reading, writing, speaking, and listening. It is not compulsory for both the principal applicant and the accompanying spouse to appear in IELTS exam. It is only compulsory for the principal applicant. But if the wife or spouse is accompanying, we recommend that they appear in it because you can get more ranking points with that, with the help of the proof of language skill of the spouse, right? So I would recommend that, but it's not compulsory. Irene is saying, brother is soon finishing high school, and how can they apply for him? What is needed? So, if your brother is completing high school, and if I'm assuming he is interested in pursuing higher education in Canada, the first step would be to secure admission. The second step would be to apply for study permit. And yeah, he can get in touch with us and he can complete our student assessment form on our website, www.amirsmile.com. We can make an assessment of eligibility. Okay. Tamina is saying NOC 4011 was consistently selected before COVID in almost every draw in SINP, but not now, which is very disappointing. Yeah, it is in fact disappointing when you see that, it was happening, but now it's not happening. But the thing is, even if it starts happening, it is not a guarantee that you will be selected because you fall in that category or that occupation, because there would be a number of 4011 applicants in the pool of SINP. So you're not the only one, right? So you need to maintain your expectations accordingly, right? And when you maintain your expectations accordingly, the disappointment decreases considerably, right? So anyone who's getting selected, they actually did not know whether they are going to get selected or not. All they did was they maintained their profile in the pool. I've seen a lot of people, and that is why we showed that motivational video at the start of this show, that a lot of people, they just give up. They just say, okay, I did not get selected, my profile got expired, I don't want to recreate it, right? So that's how it is. There are several agents in the market. I've seen that. One of them actually was working with us, and he just opened up his own office, providing unlicensed, unauthorized services at the moment. And he and others as well, not only he, others as well, they create confusion in the minds of people by putting forward those WhatsApp messages and Facebook posting that Alberta has selected these many people, Saskatchewan has selected these many people. What he and others are not explaining, that it is not a guarantee, right? If those people are getting selected, it was the discretion of the province to select them. And that's how these people confuse and then mint some money out of people who are, just fall prey to their scams. Anyways, that was just a rant that I always have against unlicensed local agents in your market that you tend to deal with out of convenience, but that's very dangerous. Okay, so let's. Okay. Abdul Hasib Gori, you're welcome. That's correct, Amir, because we do have the same name, right? So maybe we can call ourselves geniuses. Yeah, thank you very much for joining. Hassan Shahid, when will next FSW draw held? That's $1 million question. We were expecting them to start happening now, and then we saw that there was no draw happen. until day before yesterday, when we saw Canada Experience class draw happening again, and then subsequent PNP draw as usual. And that CEC and PNP draws, those happened after a while. To our surprise, it took them 15 days actually to have that, and that is an indication that they have a huge backlog to deal with now. This backlog uh, comprises of people who had received positive consent consideration, and they are still waiting for their visas to be issued. And then the focus was shifted on Canada Experience class and PNP applicants, and they had big draws, and now they have a huge backlog. So I think it will take a while before they resume FSW draws, but keep your fingers crossed. Be available in the pool, and don't withdraw your profile. And if your profile has expired or it's about to expire, renew it, right? And the elections are around the corner. It's on Monday here. So our expectations would be that whomsoever comes into power, whether it's Justin Trudeau coming back in power again, or other two parties, Conservative or NDP, our plead would be, our request would be to address the immigration problem, the system problem, where there are a lot of there's a lot of and big backlog at the moment, especially with cases which uh, were filed last year under the spousal category, and people who were issued COPRs and those were expired, and people who have their decision made but their cases are not proceeding forward. So we hear them, we understand their frustration, and many of them are our clients. But what to do? The system needs overhauling, and we hope the new government, whether it's liberal, NDP, or conservative, they will fix the system this time around, hopefully. Okay, let's take another question. It is coming from Zishan Mahmood, has joined us from LinkedIn, and he's saying he's got a BCom degree and he has 10 years experience in Unimoni exchange, and he wants guideline for work permit. So I'm sorry, Zishan, I didn't see the word work permit until I read your question to the last. We don't assist in work permit or jobs. Be careful in dealing with people who are charging money against jobs. We can assist you in immigration only, and we can let you know if you qualify. Let's take another question from someone asking it from LinkedIn, and he says NOC 2263 in pool since 11 months, but still no result. Should you advise? My advice would be to remain in the pool, so that whenever they decide to select you, if they decide to select you, they will select you. It's not a guarantee that if you have created your SINP or PEI or BC or Alberta or Ontario profile, you will get selected. It's not a guarantee at all. It might not happen for you. You might have to recreate it, but be persistent. That is how it is. Okay, Omar, thank you for appreciation. Okay, so let's see. Adnan Latif is saying that he is a medical graduate from Pakistan. He's got 10 years of experience. Working as a doctor, is a 38 years of age. Can he apply for express entry or other PNP? And his brother is in Canada. So yeah, you should create your express entry profile right away. And I'm assuming you indicated that you are here in Canada on a visitor visa. Get in touch with our team if you're here. We might be able to arrange a in-person consultation here at our Toronto office. We are at 100 King Street West. It's a downtown, core downtown area. Our office is located in, and you can't miss the building. It's the BMO building where our office is. It's the tallest building in Canada, actually. We are on 57th floor, and you can come over after booking a consultation. So there's a link on our website. Book a consultation, choose an available slot that is convenient for you, and then if you choose for in person, you can come over. We are at the King and Bay Street intersection. But if you choose to have the online one, which is more convenient these days, you can choose that option. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so someone is saying how IRCC handling fake pool entries submitted and receive ITA, but actually those are wasted. So they don't really figure out until there is an invitation, because everything is automated, right? So when they select someone from the pool and it turns out to be fake, naturally that person is not gonna proceed further, and 60 days would pass, and then of course the profile would be eliminated from the pool, because there will be no, it doesn't go back to the pool, right? So yeah, you're welcome, Zishan. Okay, let's take another question from Tamina saying, what do you suggest anyone like her who has 68 score consider student visa option or wait as assign B? Yeah, so it really depends how much hurry you are in. I mean, if student visa has its own uh, purpose. If you do have a purpose of studying in Canada, rather than thinking it from the point of view of just accessing Canada somehow, if you do have plans to upgrade your qualification with a Canadian degree, you can think about applying for student visa. It will be processed faster. You would be in Canada faster. And to be very frank, future of Canadian immigration is actually student visa. I mean, students, international students. Look at what's happening for the last 10 months. They are selecting mostly international students and people who are already here in Canada with 1 year experience on postgraduate work permit or a work permit. So if you do happen to secure a Canadian degree, it has multiple benefits. First of all, you already have Canadian education, which is appreciated by Canadian employers. You already have Canadian experience, which is appreciated by Canadian employers. You qualify under Canada Experience class after 1 year, or you may qualify under Federal Skilled Worker Program immediately after completing your degree, because you get 30 extra points under the Express Entry CRS. So there are benefits. Plus, if you are married and if you are bringing your spouse, they get an open work permit. They can work in Canada full time. If you have children, they can study in Canada free of cost up to the high school level. So there are benefits for this, and of course, um, you are in Canada sooner. So the only thing is that you are spending a lot of money on your studies, tuition fee, boarding, lodging. But it is an investment worth making, because as a result, you get a lot of benefits. Plus, there is one benefit a lot of people don't talk about, that is the Canadian citizenship. It can be applied for after 3 years of becoming permanent resident. People who are in Canada on temporary status, like visitor, student, work permit, their half of their time, up to a maximum of 1 year, could be counted towards citizenship. So these people become citizen sooner than people who immigrate to Canada normally, right, or through the normal route of landing here as a permanent resident. So you can think about student visa, and we'll be happy to assist. We have assisted a number of mature students coming to Canada in recent times, especially. Okay, there is a question from Abdul Hasib Gori, and the question is, can one applicant apply an express entry and PNP at the same time? What a wonderful question is that, and I'm glad you asked that, because there's a lot of confusion in people's mind about express entry and PNP. People think that express entry is a program itself and PNP is a separate program, so there are two programs. It's not the case. Express entry is not a program. Express entry is a file management system where you create your file. Consider it as a file cabinet where you put your file in. When you put your file in the cabinet, then someone comes and open that cabinet and find your file there. So someone who's opening the cabinet and finds the file could be a PNP program, or it could be an FSW, the Federal Skilled Worker Program. So, in an office, when there is a file, different people open their cabinet and find the file. Same is the case here. Express entry is not a program. So if you want to be considered under the PNP, if you want the PNP to open that cabinet and find your file, you have to be in that cabinet, right? So you have to create the express entry profile in order to be considered under PNP program, because most PNP programs are aligned with the express entry. If you want to be considered by the federal program, you have to be in the express entry pool, right? So it is not mutually exclusive. You have to go in the pool regardless and then be considered by PNP. Okay. All right. Thank you. You are welcome. Mohammed Qasim has joined us all the way from Afghanistan. Hope you're keeping good and safe. And thank you for joining us. Sajjad is asking, could you please suggest me immigration program? He is 37 years old and 16 years of education with 12 years of professional experience. So most likely you would be looking at PNP program because you're losing points in age factor. And the current pass rank, or I'd say the last FSW selection happened somewhere around 470. So you won't be having 470. So if you have, say, somewhere around 300 plus ranking points, provinces like Alberta and Saskatchewan and Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia could be your target. So when you contact us and you complete our assessment form, we'll advise you whether you do qualify in those provinces. And then we also have a one-on-one meeting. Okay. Samina is saying she sent a CV on our email address, but there is no response. Any chance for anyone above 35 years express entry program? Samina, I would recommend that you complete our assessment form rather than sending us the CV. Although if you had sent the CV, we should have responded. So I apologize if there is an oversight on our part. Sometimes we respond and the email lands in your junk or spam folder. That could be the possibility. But regardless, I would recommend that you complete our assessment form to allow us to assist you further. And yeah. Okay, so she has an MPhil and she has double masters. Will the university consider me for MPhil? So if you're talking about the university, if you're taking admission in a university, you should ask the university directly. If you're asking about immigration, then it should be considered as a master's degree, and you should be assigned points for a master's degree, right? Okay, so we are reaching toward the end of our broadcast today, and I'll take a few more questions before we bid goodbye to you guys. Someone from LinkedIn asking, please elaborate AIPP and RINP. Okay, so these are the regional programs, and these programs depend on you securing a job offer from an employer based in those provinces. So we don't arrange jobs. If you have received a job offer, we'll be happy to assist you in that. Okay. Okay. So Jad Ahmed is saying that he will contact us. Thank you very much, Jad. Okay, so I think we don't have further questions today, although I do see few of them coming in still, but we'll be able to address all of them. I'm actually on the move at the moment. That's why no video today. But next time, of course, we'll be back in our office and we'll be able to attend your questions next week. So don't forget to join us every Friday at 11 a.m. We started a bit late today because of my travel, but it is usually 11 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time. And please do like and share with your friends and relatives. And I leave you with the same motivational video we shared with you earlier. All right. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.